Hey, it's me, the light trying to help you through the night. But I was laying in bed just kind of chilling. My little puppy back there. She always tries to hide behind me so you can't see her, which is funny. She doesn't like her picture being taken either. But anyways, as I was laying there, I was listening to some stuff and I heard about over forgiving and I thought that is a bad thing I've always done. Just like being too forgiving. And my son even told me, he said, Mama, you just give people too many chances. And it made me realize I have let a lot of people stick around because those red flags, I just was like, no, it's not. Things will get better. The optimist in me, I guess. But I want to remind you it's okay if you forgive somebody and send them on their way with well wishes, because the more that you forgive them and let them back in, they do something else, you kick them out, you forgive them, you let them back in. Do you see the cycle that is starting here? And they say, but you're okay with this cycle. I can stab you in the heart as many times as I want and you're going to forgive me because that's what you do. And we get to where we forget to allow ourselves to expect a little bit more than what's being offered to us. And I think a lot of times it's like out of fear of being alone, because no one really wants to be alone. You can get comfortable being alone. I'm comfortable being alone. Doesn't mean I want to be, but when it comes down to it, it's better to be alone than to be with somebody that's going to continually hurt you, stab you in the back, lie to you, manipulate you, treat you like you're a fool, and you might not see it like that. When you get away from the situation and look back on it, you can start to see the truth of the matter and then go, oh, maybe I shouldn't have been so forgiving. So, like I said, if you got people that come and go, and I don't care if they're family, coworkers, whoever, you're going to have people that are going to keep trying your intellect. And I used to tell people, don't test my intellect. Do not test my intuition, because I already know where we stand, and me giving you a chance is to allow you to prove to yourself you can be a better person. But ultimately, if you're giving someone that chance, they already know who they are. So I guess that was an excuse I was using myself to say, I'll wait. I'll just keep waiting. You'll come around because I know my worth. You're going to see it. But the thing is, a lot of people won't see your worth and value, especially as you allow that revolving door to keep coming and going. So at some point, you have to just step back and go, you know what? I'm fine cutting my losses. I'm fine being here and you being there. And don't let them come back into your space. And that's still another way to open up and create space for something new to come into your life, to give you something that you truly deserve. Because you want true, genuine love. You want stability. You want someone you can build with. And the problem is, a lot of us quit hoping for that because we don't find that. But when you're staying in a bad situation, revolving door, over forgiving, allowing people to keep hurting you, you're not going to tell the universe, look, this is what I want. This is what my heart truly desires, because the universe is only going to react to you on the energetic level in which you are presenting yourself. So if you're allowing people to hurt you and you just go and you cry about it, they call you and you're like, oh, I'm so glad they called me. I was afraid to lose them. You're willing to lose yourself so you don't lose someone else? And I'm only asking that because I did that. For 16 years I did that. And in my mind the excuse was the children. Well, they deserve to have both parents. They deserve to have a normal life by society. But then I saw how toxic it was and realized they had a better chance by not having the abusive parent in the mix. And yes, I had to make deals with that devil to get him to go away and leave our children alone. And it's sad for them. They still think about him. I even found myself thinking about him yesterday, which was strange because I don't normally think about, I wonder where he's at, how he's doing. I cut that tie a long time ago. If anything, that should tell me Mercury retrograde that has passed and still has a little bit of energy in the air has somebody else thinking about me that's pulling on me. Because, of course, people are always going to look back on something great that they lost, that they sat on, that they let walk away, that they didn't fight to keep. Don't live in regret. Definitely don't live in regret for hurting yourself, because you forgive everyone else and then eventually you can't forgive yourself. Because when you wake up from these toxic cycles that you find yourself in, yeah, you go through guilt, you go through shame, you go through questioning your own self. And the more that you do that to yourself, the more that you start wanting to disassociate from yourself, because you're like, I don't even know me. How could I have let that go on that long and been so blind to it? But love makes you do crazy things. And like, it doesn't even have to be a passionate love. Any kind of love can make you crazy. For whatever reason, Al Green just popped in my head. Love and happiness. Make you do wrong, make you do right. Awesome song. But we get blinded by the concept that we want a happy ever after. And maybe that's because we were raised on fairy tales. You know, we were raised to believe that when you're living... Sorry if you hear that. My dryer likes to scream and go, hey, I'm done, and then tell you again and tell you again and then turn off. Sorry, it distracted me. But back to the fairy tale, you know, we all grew up. There was something that was wrong. Someone that was impoverished, mistreated, not wanted, and kicked or taken into the wilderness to have to find their way back. That wasn't the hopes of the person bringing them there. But they had to go and battle to survive and try to keep up their courage and their being optimistic to then finally have that wonderful person come and save them. But that's not life. The wonderful person that's going to save you is yourself. And when you finally can realize you have to do things to benefit you, you stop being over-forgiving. You start seeing the patterns well before they have time to keeping you in a toxic cycle. Because I've noticed the more I interact with people, it doesn't take me long these days to go, nope, you're wasting my time. And you can look at me as shallow and superficial, but I'm still getting older. My children are still getting older. Life keeps going on. So if you find yourself waiting around for somebody, don't. If you need to forgive them, forgive them. You don't have to speak to them to do this. But allow your heart to heal from that revolving door that you allowed to sabotage you as long as you did. And just understand that it's going to be okay. That you have to make the choice to choose yourself, though. And when you can choose no longer to look and say, okay, I need to forgive them, but rather, I forgive me. And when you forgive you, you can accept yourself, love yourself. And then guess what? You open the door for that true nature of what you really want to come in a form that it's beneficial for your life. You know, that it's going to envelop you in a way of a feeling you used to have. And I always go back to my grandmother, that warm, loving feeling that she brought forth that hasn't been here since she passed away. And I've tried to be the person that spreads that feeling, that helps others be seen and heard and wanted, and for them to feel alive, for them to feel like their life matters. Because a lot of times, most of us don't know how to be that way. We don't know how to be okay with the life that we have. We don't know how to accept ourselves. We don't know how to forgive ourselves. So if you can start embracing the fact that you deserve to forgive yourself, that you deserve to love yourself, that you deserve to dream big. You can actually start paving the way to a better life for yourself. But you gotta stop letting people come in and ignoring the red flags by being over forgiving with them. And yes, they're gonna think you're an asshole or a bitch. Let them think what they're gonna think. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change who you are, and it's okay for you to have boundaries. Used to, it would really upset me, and I'd let that person come back just to prove to them I wasn't, never realizing their sole intention was to come back to tear me down some more, so they could dominate and have control over me. That's the difference of when you're dealing with narcissistic people, that their sole purpose is to gain control. And a lot of times, even if you think you're the only person in their life, sadly you're not. They just have the way of pulling the wool over your eyes, making you question yourself, making you feel crazy. And you allow them to do things that you wouldn't allow if you were in a sane way of thinking. You know, learning not to be over forgiving and learning to just say, I'm going to go ahead and stop it here because I don't want to be hurt anymore. Because you have to choose that you don't want to be hurt anymore. And that's hard when that's what we're used to, being hurt. We often trust that we're going to get hurt. So therefore, we manifest being hurt into our lives. We have a hard time believing that the good side of it's going to come out, that we're not going to be hurt, that things are going to work out. You know, it's easier to be pessimistic because when it fails, you already expected it. When you're optimistic and it doesn't work out, then you feel let down. But instead, try embracing the fact that it will work out. Things will turn in your favor. But you have to choose yourself. So forgive yourself. Love yourself. Embrace who you are. And allow the world to see you in that true light. And you will actually open doors of abundance for yourself. Just by saying, I'm no longer going to allow you to come back in and us keep playing this charade of I love you, I don't, I love you, I don't, I forgive you, I don't. See how it's crazy making? It's easier to just say, you know what, leave me alone. Choose yourself. Sending you peace, love, and light. Talk to you later.